What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 76 of EZPZ Podcast. I'm your host, Sean S. Johnson. We got a great show for you this week. Joining me on the show today, Nick.
What's up, guys?
Nice to have you back, Nick. We did a duo cast last week, y'all.
Yeah, it was good.
But now we got Trey. It's been, it's been like 2 months.
Good to be back.
Yeah. Good to have you back on the show. Like I said at the top, we're going to have a great show for you. We're going to talk about the whole Elon Musk Tesla stock situation where that he kind of had some weird comments on that investor call. We listened to it right before the pod in preparation. We collectively don't think that they were that crazy of comments, but we'll talk about it. Then Apple stock, Warren Buffett bought 75 million stock. So obviously that was great for Apple in the end. Des Moines Social Club has the food truck throwdown and more. So let's just dive right into that Elon Musk story about how he, on this like investor call, he had like a round table of like 6 to 8, 12 investors or whatever, a bunch from Wall Street. One of them in particular was from YouTube, just a YouTuber, Hyperchange TV. Shout out to him. And yeah, it was just Q1 Tesla investor call to kind of go through the specifics of what they're doing right, what they need to improve on, how they're doing with the dollars, you know, are they making that money?
Yeah. I liked how he was responding to the Wall Street guys. He was just like very like doing himself. He wasn't worried about investor confidence or anything like that, which is like just so different from any CEO I've ever heard make any statement ever.
Right.
They're usually just such politicians about everything they say, you know, and he seemed to just be like, fuck you guys, we're doing us, we're doing Tesla.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
For an investor to ask a question about like how much money they're making and like how's production going for your product that you sell, which is, you know, he announces the Model 3, which is the car that can go 0 to 60, like the boosted, like limited edition or whatever. It can go 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. It's the fastest production car, will be the fastest production car on the market. By a long shot, right? Like I think the fastest, like what are those brands? Like Alfa Romeos and all those like Porsches. McLaren. Yeah, McLaren, Porsche.
But that's not street legal, obviously, which would be
right.
But
those go about that speed, maybe a little bit slower, like in the 3s, you know? So to get under the 3 at 2.6 is huge. Anyway, the investors are asking about that car. How's the production going? How are reservations? And he's really just like, was like, talk to the hand.
Well, I liked what he said though. He was saying like the reservations, like there was more demand for like, even if they like met the demand, it would take 2 years for this first reservation, you know, and that's with no advertising, they were saying and stuff. So I think that's where a lot of his confidence is coming from, is like, I've sold the fucking cars already, dude. So chill out.
Without like any advertising or anything else.
Fuck it, I already sold them. What the fuck do you want? Like, you know,
good point. So what the numbers were 500,000 reservations for this Model 3 alone. So they have other models. They have the Model X, which is the one I want. And actually, after this story came out, I priced out my own Model X. Yeah. So it's like the SUV and it can fit 7 people, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like a big giant Suburban. It can fit 7 people. The bigger battery or better, more efficient battery and all that, it comes to $150,000.
Yeah.
Only $2,500 payments a month.
No thanks.
No, I know, but the car is sleek as hell and it's like looks like a hatchback, but it can fit 7 people. It's just mind-boggling to me. Yeah. Really cool.
What 7 people you gotta carry around?
Go to Electric Forest with all my homies. But anyway, it was 500,000 reservations, no advertising like you were saying. And if they even hit like the point that they want to hit production-wise, 5,000 a week, it would still take 2 years to hit that 500,000 reservation at this very moment. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously Tesla's doing something right? He's super confident. You have to be to have like 6 businesses that are doing all different things and best things for like humanity. Like he's trying to do that San Francisco to LA hypertunnel, right?
I remember that.
So you drive into like the company's called the Boring Company. So like they're gonna bore under the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool name.
Yeah, he's a cool motherfucker. So the idea is you drive onto a platform after everything's built. You drive on this platform, it takes you under the ground, and it just jets you to LA or SF, whatever way you want to go. Right. But that's a 6-hour drive for anyone else, for everyone in Des Moines. That's pretty much like driving from here to Chicago. And it's going to just get you there within like an hour.
That's sick.
Which is nuts. Yeah. I don't know. They're using magnets and stuff, I think. What the fuck are those? How do they work?
What the fuck are those? I remember hearing Joe Rogan talk about it, like talking shit about it. Because he's like, California is like one of the most earthquake-ridden places in the world. And we got Elon Musk just tunneling under our city. Like.
Right. So, I mean, you have to have a bunch of smart people together. They obviously know that. They obviously are thinking about that. But the commute in LA alone is horrible, but the commute to SF and LA, I mean, those are two of our biggest hubs on the West Coast, if not the two biggest hubs, right? Of tech, business, everything. So I mean, to save everyone 5 hours, or even the plane rides like 2.5, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's about the same, I guess, for about an hour plane ride, but still. Anyway, back on track here. This was on that investor call, like we were saying. The comments he was saying was he was cutting off these investors, these Wall Street investors, saying that they had bonehead, boring comments. And he was actually taking questions more so to the YouTuber, the Hyperchange TV guy. Yeah. So pretty cool for that guy. MKBHD, I don't know if you guys follow him at all. He's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, independent tech YouTubers by like a long shot. He's done a lot of partnerships and work with Tesla. He's reviewed the Model 3. He does all the tech for the phones. You would recognize him if you saw him. He just recently graduated like a year or two ago from college, and he's making $500,000, $600,000 a month on YouTube. He's like the best tech reviewer there is, and has been for a while. He's been doing it for like 10 years since he was like 14. So he's 24 now. Anyway, he got a huge shout out from Elon Musk because he was talking about how cool it was to kind of how Elon kind of handles himself well, kind of what you were saying, Trey. Like he's confident in himself, he's doing his own thing, and not really like paying attention to these Wall Street guys.
Well, I think if you like pay too much attention to like investors and like investor confidence, you kind of like dilute your message. And I think that he seems like he has the mindset that he wants to change the world more than like he wants to like make a profit, or not like a profit, because he's making profits, but like more than he wants like his stock to soar, you know. Like it's more important to him that he's like doing what he wants to do, it seems like. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. He just seems like the millionaire, billionaire kind of dude that you can just go and have a beer with and just chill, you know.
I would kick it with Elon. That'd be fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He wouldn't like me, but whatever.
Teach me a couple things. Shit.
Yeah, for sure. One more thing before we move on. There was a comment that came up about the autonomous cars, the Teslas. Somebody died in the last like month or so, and it was all over the news, and and a whole bunch of publications were writing about it, bringing it to light. But that's, I mean, come on, guys. I kind of agree with what Elon's saying. Like, you're doing a disservice to the public if you don't also, in the same article, talk about how many people are dying from just driving on their own, from their own, like, poor driving. Not even like drunk driving or under the influence of anything. Like, it's more so just bad driving.
Right. Sure. Yeah. I think that this is the age of spin, and people, like journalists especially, are more interested in getting like views and headlines, like breaking stories. And like, what kind of story would it be to say like self-driving cars work perfect, you know? It's like, or they work well, you know, with a few like little flaws. It's a way better story to say like, these are killing people.
Yeah, you gotta have that fear factor that's gonna bring
sensationalism.
People
to Yep, exactly. So overall I think Elon's stressing a little bit with that. We just had those numbers out there. 500,000 reservations. 5,000 a week they aren't even at that point. And when they get to that point, it will take 2 years. He's probably stressing. There's actually before this whole situation came out with the investor call, there was a bunch of stuff too about how he's sleeping at Tesla in his office. He's I mean, he's got the jitters. Like he's super stressed.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. There was other people like that got out, like that leak that he's putting in 18-hour, 22-hour work days, sleeping like 2 to 4 hours a night. So
yeah, that's billionaires for you, man.
That's insane.
You know, you have to have a certain like work ethic to get to that level, and like legitimately,
you're not going to work part time, and
you're working like to have that amount of money. 18-hour days probably minimum. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know, or at least to like build up to where you're like saving. It sounds like he's got some work cut out for him if he's back in the office.
Holy shit! So you're saying 5,000 a week, like producing 5,000 cars a week?
Model 3.
That's insane.
Yeah, so actually a friend of the show who I would love to get back on the podcast at some point, Ben Wolf, works at Tesla, and he just got promoted to an engineer position for the Model 3. So he moved from the other previous Model S, I believe, to Model 3 because they're bringing over a bunch of people from the other cars because there's so much demand for this Model 3. And like I said, the Model X is that SUV I want. I'm going to get one day. I'll get one used when it's down to like 50K maybe. Moving on though, talking more about... So I guess before we move on, let's really quick mention the stock situation. So on Thursday, I know stocks are really dry for some people, so we'll just mention it. After this call alone, the stocks fell 6% on this last Thursday. And then on Friday, they ended up going up 3.3%. So he lost like 3% of stock in Tesla for this one like call where he like sounded a little bit rude to some investors and analysts. Just interesting there.
I mean, he did tell people to sell their stock.
Oh yeah. So good call. Like in the end of the call, or the video we watched, at least it's him on the call telling people like, he's not trying to satisfy day traders, whatever. Sell your stock.
Don't buy his stock. Right. Not necessarily sell it. Like, I mean, was basically like putting a slap in the face of people that are there just to make money. He's like, if you are worried about it crashing, don't fucking buy it. Right. Like, what do you want me to do?
Right. Okay. So moving on though, more stock talk. We'll keep it short. Warren Buffett bought 75 million shares in Apple. So his company, Berkshire Hathaway, bought 75 million shares in Apple. The bullet points here are the Apple stock passed $183.50 on Friday. It was pushed higher because of this situation where he announced he bought 75 million shares. Apple CEO is thrilled. Duh. Like, obviously, right? So something else to take away from this is this Friday was really weird for the stock exchange. A lot of tech companies, Amazon, Google, Dell, Microsoft, all these companies like saw a huge dip in their stock. And people are saying it's all correlating with Warren Buffett investing so much into Apple because, you know, he's pretty much betting on like the horse that's in first place. Sure. He's showing his cards, which is not a very Warren Buffett thing to do. And he does that kind of stuff when he wants to take advantage of his power and how much say he has in the stock exchange, I think, you know.
Does he ever do like pump and dump things where he like will buy in on Apple and then like, okay, now everyone else is investing in Apple. It's like, peace. Yep. It's like just made $45 million today. You know? Like, does he do that with like big companies like that?
And I would not doubt it, right? He's like worth 15, 20 billion. I'm sure he does something.
Yeah, he's got his hands in all the cookie jars. It's kind of a silly question, I guess.
Well, no, it's not silly. I just don't doubt that he doesn't do that, you know, like, so real quick, some of these companies that saw major drops we were talking about. So Amazon, Alphabet, which owns Google, Netflix, Facebook. And also went on record this week, which is another not very Warren Buffett thing to do in this day and age. He does it like 2 times a year. He like goes on, gets interviewed, and is on the record, like on TV, on Fox News or CNN, MSNBC. He told CNBC that he's buying a lot of stock in the first quarter, but not across the board. He revealed he sold completely out of IBM, and he's not looking to buy any General Electric, which is insane. Like, he pretty much just blacklisted these 2 companies that Trey and I were chatting before the podcast, but like these companies were once huge. These companies were once monumental to
They're still huge.
Right. To computing or like just general appliances in everyone's house, it's G&E.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what our washer and dryer is downstairs. And it's probably 25 years, 15, 20 years old, and it works like a dream still. But yeah, I mean, for him to blacklist people like that or companies like that, that's kind of scary. I would be shaking in my boots if I were
IBM,
those CEOs.
I mean, people are fickle. They'll forget whatever he said in a week, but I mean, still it is pretty bad, that like someone that important is like saying such like a strong position on those stocks. Like, not good for IBM, that's for sure,
Yeah, crazy. So it's showing us right here at the bottom that all these tech companies they gained some stuff at the end of the day, but that beginning of Friday where he announced that announcement came out, they saw a huge drop there, like 3 to 5% each. Moving on though, let's get out of this boring stuff. Let's dip into Nick's topic. Nick is bringing some history. He's always bringing the history lessons to us. Cinco de Mayo. Give us a short history because we're recording just after it happened.
The Seis de Mayo. Oh, go ahead.
Seis de Mayo.
Yeah. So this Cinco de Mayo is a Mexican heritage festival that they commemorate every year to it's basically, so there was a war between the Mexican army and the French Empire. So the French Empire and a bunch of like European places had loaned the Mexicans a bunch of money. And then due to all these like battles and stuff, Mexico was basically going bankrupt. So the Mexican president at the time, Benito Juarez, had put like a 2-year stop on any loan interest payments to all these European countries. So then France was just pissed, like, we're not getting our money, we're not getting our payment. So they just came over and there was a war called the Battle of Puebla, which happened on May 5th. Or actually, that's when they actually won. So Mexico was kind of the underdog here. They only had like 4,500 troops, I guess, if you want to call it. Whereas France had like 6,500 plus. So
nothing compared to today's standards.
Right, yeah. Well, we don't really have these little like battles, I guess, anymore.
Yeah.
We might, I don't know.
It's all done over like a few documents and old white dudes signing something.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime there was shit to get done back in the day, you just had a battle at some fucking park or some shit.
Meet me at the park at noon after recess. Like, we're going to battle about these interest rates.
I know, dude. Yeah, it's really weird to think about now. But anyway, Mexico prevailed, and that happened, or like France, like retaliate, or like not, what's it called when they leave or like fall back?
Retreat.
Yeah, they retreated on the 5th of May, and then now everybody just gets drunk.
Everybody just gets drunk. I love it. That's kind of like we were talking about St. Patty's Day.
Right, it's kind of weird. It makes no sense of why we make it a drinking holiday, but I think another thing here to add is people always confuse it for the day Mexico's Independence Day, which is actually on September 16th.
Okay. Well, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like they're celebrating their freedom from the tyranny of France. I mean, it's not like full on like the biggest Independence Day or whatever, but I mean, they were fighting oppression. So in some ways that's kind of right. But Americans don't give a shit about it. Like, as long as we get a party.
Now we just eat tacos and drink tequila.
What did St. Patty even do? Did he drive the snakes out of Ireland, or is that made up?
Yeah, that was fake even. That wasn't even real.
Yeah, I thought that was fake.
There wasn't never any snakes.
There was never snakes?
Never.
Shit.
Too funny.
What was in my garden the other day then?
I know.
Never any.
What did you guys do yesterday then in celebration?
We hung out.
Yeah, for sure. We
grill and chill.
Grill and chill through the frisbee.
Frisbee was fun, actually. I want to do that more.
Well, dude, anything active with friends is fun. Because we don't do that very much as a friend group.
I was amazed at how fun the volleyball was, just like kicking the shit around the other day. Like, I hadn't done anything like physical in a while, and I was just like running around like, this is so fun.
Yeah, dude. And
exercise is chill.
Well, once you break that first bead of sweat comes down your face, it's like primal. It's a primal instinct to like have endorphins pumping through your body, oxygen's going into your veins. Like it's primal. It's what human nature's meant to do. They're meant to get active, move, dance. If you want to dance in public, do it. Shake it what your mama gave you. Shake your coconuts. So, speaking of volleyball, though, we're going to be playing a game this week. Are you nervous?
I'm nervous as shit, but I'm going to still dive and fall. And my concern isn't like looking stupid. It's just like genuinely being bad. So I don't care if I look clumsy as long as I'm kind of like hitting it and helping the team in some way, which
Exactly.
I think I can maybe do. I can make it work. So
I'm excited. I think we're going to crush.
Oh, dude. I mean, look at us. We're fucking so good looking. How could we lose?
The issue I have with volleyball coming up this week, though, is that talking with Madison and Clem last night, they don't even really know like how the rules are. You know, like I want to know the rules. I want to know what I can and can't do. I want to know how scoring is involved. Because they're saying it's a rally scoring, which means when you serve it and you hit the net, so if you mess up a serve, it's just you lose the ball and like it goes to the other team, but there's no points.
Okay, so you have to be scoring on a serve.
Yeah. You have to make it over the net, and volleys have to happen in order for the game for you to get points.
Well, if you ace them on a serve, you still get a point.
Yes, exactly. I just mean like the serving team serving. If they hit the net, the other team doesn't get points, which I would like that because none of us are that great at serving. Like, why would
I think it's like it's like just a better, less random scoring method, you know? Because it's like, okay, if you get random, like no one on your team can serve, but you can just hit it back and score every time. It's like,
right.
Yeah.
So apparently we play 3 games no matter what. Even if we lose the first 2, it's best of 3, but we play all 3. So we could go 0-3.
Yeah.
Or, and then the third game, though, the first 2 is that rally scoring where you don't lose points if you mess up a serve. Then the third game is apparently. So see, these are things I need to know. I need to talk to the ref. I want to get there a little early and talk to the ref. I need to know what's going down.
I mean, definitely talking to Gail. She knows all the rules.
It's weird that Gail would know, not Madison.
Maybe not.
No, I think that I will be talking to Gail first before I go and like say, hey, ref, knock on your forehead. Don't fuck on your forehead. Don't fuck with me, bro. All right, so let's dip into Fortnite. Fortnite has been a topic of conversation on this podcast for multiple episodes. Pretty much since we came back with season 2, Trey's been live streaming on twitch.tv/TotallyTrey right now. Can you turn that on air light on for me? I don't like when that's not on.
This is
my daddy. Yeah, there we go. Hey,
we're
official.
live.
Studio easy peasy. We're live. We got this on air light that my dad got me for Christmas. Anyway, Fortnite's been a huge part of this podcast. So, Trey, can you give us an update on the successes of the game?
So, for March, Fortnite profited, I don't know if it's a profit, but I mean, they netted $223 million in March, which is hilarious because it's a free game.
Right.
So, all of the money that they're taking in is either from the single player mode, which costs like $30, or cosmetics, which are like costumes or dances or like whatever else.
Stamps, right? I saw the cool stamp.
Yeah, they just started adding a graffiti thing where you can spray paint shit. But so all of that is just on people wanting to make their character in the game look cooler, which is fucking crazy, I mean, I'm guilty. I bought like $60 worth of cosmetics on that shit.
Let's break it down real quick on that 60. Sorry to interrupt, but I really love to talk about this with free-to-play games because of the fact that they are free to play.
Yeah, I'm supporting the company for the game that I'm obsessed with.
And how many hours would you say you put into this game? How many hours of enjoyment / frustration?
Probably close to like 150, 200 hours.
Man,
so, I mean,
you're literally paying 50 cents an hour.
Yeah, which is fucking great. I mean, like, compare it to like Skyrim or something like that, it's probably about the same amount of hours per dollar, or money per dollars, but it's crazy that it was a free to play game. So I'm comparing it to heroin, where they give you this like free little taster of the game, and you're like, oh, this game's really fucking fun. Maybe if I buy this $20 skin, I'll be a little bit better at this fucking game. And then before you know it, you're fully immersed in the culture and like just spending all of your money every time a cool costume comes in.
Living in a roach-filled motel.
Yeah, right.
How can you get good internet in that roach-filled motel, though?
Free Wi-Fi
from
Motel
Denny's
8s.
across the street, baby.
That's not good enough. Not good enough, man. You got to keep those FPSs
Low ping.
or
Yeah, but
Nick, you
no.
So
I did.
These skins don't.
Oh yeah, they don't have any sort of competitive advantage, which is fun.
Yeah.
Cool. And we were talking about what if it did.
Yeah.
Would people just cheat it? Because I mean, we see all those games out there where people would, I don't know, they just
Like, I won't
do a
play
bunch
a
of shit to-
pay-to-win game. If there's any advantage that someone can get by paying an amount of money,
Right.
I'm not going to fucking play it because I think that
it's BS.
is
yeah.
genuine bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
whereas, like, offering someone, like, a skin or, like, is, like, nothing. And I think Fortnite is, like, if anyone is going to make money off of these, like, skins and shit, it should be Fortnite because
Yeah.
they're putting in an update, like, once a week with, like, a new fucking gun or a new like they are adding so much to the game and putting so much work into the game and actually putting money back into the game, which is something you don't see very often. Like for example, I don't know if you guys heard of the game No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like a Kickstarter game that like basically they promised way more than they were going to deliver. Just like so much more. The game was absolute dog shit. Like
procedurally generated worlds where there were infinite possibilities and planets.
It was like a space simulator,
Yeah.
and it was a really fucking cool idea. But someone found out, like probably like a couple weeks into the game existing, that if you did get to the same point as another person, it wouldn't even show the other person on the game. So it was just kind of like a big scam. And since then, they've like tried to put a bunch of money in to save the
Fix
game.
it. Yeah, I remember.
And
that.
like it's already dead.
Within the first 2 months of that game coming out, I believe we covered this on the podcast actually, but within the first 2 months of that game coming out, it got cut to $30 from 60 to 30. I mean,
oh yeah, no, I mean, and
it's a sad story, honestly.
So imagine
it's such a great idea. But
yeah, it was a really cool idea, but imagine if they had like made it a free-to-play game instead of charging $60 initially and then like selling cosmetics for the game. Like, okay, you can build a little igloo that's like special to you because you paid $5, you know? Something like that. I'm sure that like if the game was quality the way that they had advertised the game, when I saw it, I would have spent hundreds of dollars on that stupid game, you know? Just like making a sick castle on the top of a planet. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of stuff to do with No Man's Sky was a console game first, then PC.
Did it get?
Oh yeah, it was
ported to
PS.
PC?
Well, I don't think so. So that's my point. Is that it's PlayStation 4 exclusive. I believe it just actually got announced / came out for Xbox One, but that's besides the point. So console's always been behind when it comes to like kinds of games and stuff. Console was always been behind like PC. So PC's had free to play for years. I've been playing League of Legends since 2011.
That's a good point.
With No Man's Sky, they didn't really have the option to go free to play because it was console first. It was at PlayStation 4. There haven't been any, as of in 2014, 2015, when that game came out, there weren't any successful free to play games on console.
Yeah, I'm sure there's indie games that like, but not obviously not
This
to the
was a major
scale
release.
of not to the scale of League of Legends or Fortnite or whatever.
So speaking about League of Legends, though, I just want to bring up my point is that you were saying a $20 skin for like in Fortnite. I'm like, when I think of a $20 skin, I'm like, my mind explodes because in League of Legends it's $7,
Yeah.
so like 960 RP.
I'm not 100% if it's $20, but it's like over 10.
Well,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is that these skins and like in these free to play games, they're getting super pricey and it's like almost obscene. In League of Legends, though, you can get like a good skin that does change like particle effects. It has cool particle effects. It has all unique, like your abilities do a unique color variation and so forth. You can get that for $7. And if you want to get like the high tech skins, like the one I have for Ezreal, which was pretty much like the last few months I played was when that skin came out. Forget what it's called, but when you level up your ultimate, then you level the whole skin changes. You get like more like mechanical arms or like, you know, like cool cosmetics that come into the game throughout the game as you level up.
That's cool.
And that was like $20-$25. So when I hear like in Fortnite the skin is $20 for like a dance, or like even like above
The
10.
dances are cheaper, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's just insane. And then I'm playing Arena of Valor on mobile right now, and that game is pretty much League of Legends light. It's I do the 3v3, so that would be Twisted Tree Line for League of Legends players out there listening. But it's the skins are insanely pricey on that too. Like for a freaking skin that does next to no particle effect, cool stuff, it's like $10. It's literally $10. I'm like, is this a mobile game where I've put $1 in, because when you did, like at the very beginning when you first played, you get like you unlock a whole bunch of extra champions and stuff. So I did that, and that's all I've ever put into this game. And like I refuse to. I just bought Superman with the points the gold I earned in game, which is cool. Like, but it's just crazy. It takes crazy long to like get that much gold. I bought Superman. He's cool. He's tight, but that's what kind of sucks is he doesn't really match my playstyle totally. So in order for me, I'm still building up, and it's been like probably 10 hours of gameplay now. I'm still building up to like that 18,000 gold to get another champion I really want. That's the thing with these free to play games, is that they really, really set the goalposts like super far for people that don't want to put any money into it. But that makes sense.
No, I mean, they are very smart, and they have it down to a science. Like, I think that the consoles and shit just need to take a book out of, it's like, let the game go, let it go, and there's potential for so much more earning. Like, I'm trying to think of a good thing that they could sell on just like console games. Like, I'm blanking right now, but I'm sure like with Grand Theft Auto, that would be probably the best pay like free to play platform ever.
Right. Like, so here's the thing: Grand Theft Auto 6 clearly in development. Grand Theft Auto 5 is completely wrapped up development. It's on the new consoles. The GTA Online is doing gangbusters. It's making tons of money. Not Fortnite money, but it's making a ton of money. Grand Theft Auto 6 though, they have Red Dead Redemption out in the media right now, because that's coming out later this year. Rockstar Games is what I'm talking about. Take-Two and Interactive and Rockstar Games. But Grand Theft Auto 6, that's going to be monumental. If that game goes free to play, which I don't think so.
It won't. But
what I think will happen is the game will be $60 for a single player, and you can get into Grand Theft Auto 5 online. But then you can have it pay the subscription to get extra cars or something cool for your online presence.
Yeah. Don't they already do that in 5?
I don't know if they have a subscription model, but they do have...
Can't you like buy dollars or something?
Yeah.
And that's essentially what I'm talking about. But if they made it like more exclusive, like you can't drive this car at all unless you pay the $10, you know, like that's where they would start raking in fucking money. Like, I don't know, like
Avengers. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Do you remember the purple dildo in San Andreas that you could beat people to death? Make that $30. You know, like, people would fucking pay it. Like, you know,
man, I love San Andreas. That's the only one I completed the entire story mode for.
I've never completed any.
Many players have it. You're not alone.
I just kill cops. It's great.
I have Grand Theft Auto 5 here. I opened it, put it in my Xbox, and this is something I don't really love about the new gaming, the gaming that we're in right now for consoles. That I put it in my Xbox One, downloads a 30 gigabyte patch. 30 gigabyte patch. I have to sit here. I have really great internet. I would say I have the second or third tier in Des Moines that you can possibly get. And that's including the gigabit.
Or like 200 megabyte download? Or
I'm like at 150, but I go above 200. I'm like 180. And my upload's like 25 to 50. So It's not bad. I mean, I've got really good internet here. And it's still, that 30 gigabyte patch still took me like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So that I put the game away, I went and did something else, and I never revisited the game. So that red tape that we're getting in console gaming right now, for somebody that I would say I'm a casual gamer, and I hate to admit it.
Filthy fucking casual.
Yeah. At this point in my life, I am, man. Yeah. I have Wolfenstein 2 on the wall here. Every day, I have the actual game box on my shelf here. In Studio EZPZ, just as a reminder, when I get out of the shower, I come out of the bathroom, or come into the office at all here in the studio, I can see that, hey, you need to get back to that game, because I love Wolfenstein 1. I didn't beat it, but I love it.
That's so funny that you have Christmas. This like guilt and like about playing video games, which is just like such a new thing to the world. Like adults being like, I gotta fucking play video games. I'm being such a piece of shit.
Yeah. No,
But
you're
like
right.
in reality, like you're not being a piece of shit. You're doing the exact opposite by like living your life.
Yeah.
It's just that like nostalgia factor. We miss being able to do it all the time.
Having
And
that
we
time
can't.
to do whatever you want.
Because I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. I barely game as much as I want to.
You've done such a great job though, and I look to you to like, because you were just talking about you playing Dead Space 2 a couple episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever get back to it? Or?
No, I got through a couple of chapters and then I put it down. You know, I didn't have time to finish it.
Such a great game. One of my favorite single player experiences from the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 era.
Yeah, I finished BioShock 2 though, and I'm gonna start Infinite. So
You've gone through 1 and 2 now, huh?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So I'm slowly chipping away at games that I want to
Respect.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
I also put red tape on myself. I know we're going on down the lemon hole here, but this is why I love this cast right here, like this crew, because we always can get into something really a great discussion. But I put red tape on myself, and Trey can probably relate to this in some ways, but where I'm not going to take advantage of creating any content, so I'm not going to play. I'm not going to live stream or even like capture to put on YouTube or edit a video of like me playing Wolfenstein 2, which I have like 3 hours of gameplay on my computer from literally Christmas Day when I took 3 hours. I'm like, I don't care. I know we have to go to your mom's in a little bit. I'm still going to play Wolfenstein. I like captured it. I brought out my laptop on Christmas Day after I opened Santa's presents. And I still, like, that's the red tape I put up. So like if I'm too tired to even game, I'm definitely too tired because of my job and getting up and going to the gym and trying to get things organized as an adult. I'm too tired to capture for sure and do audio.
I can relate to that super hard. I mean, I put myself in a position where I'm like rushing around all the time now. So I have it set up where I get off work at like 3. I'm supposed to be streaming at 3 to 6. And like I find a lot of excuses now to not do it because it's like just like me putting so much pressure on myself to like, I want to do it like 7 days a week, 3 to 6, but it's so fucking hard to like make yourself do those things. And especially when it comes to editing, dude, like, I do not blame you for like just being like, nope. Cause I have, probably 100, 200 hours of recorded streams that I could like piece together into great clip shit, and I just take the easy way and take the Twitch clips and mash them together and call it good.
Well, that's better than not doing anything though.
Yeah, that's a common thing, like paralysis from just like wanting like perfection paralysis is what we'll call it, like where you're so worried about making a perfect thing that you don't even make a shitty thing.
Right.
And making nothing's worse than making something shitty.
Exactly.
Because then you're at least taking baby steps to the good thing. Like you're getting yourself into a position where you can make the YouTube video that's going to get you 1,000 views or whatever it is, you know? Dude. Like, so I think that if you just can shake that, it's like, oh, it's only going to be a 40-minute stream. That's better than like being like, well, I can't stream for 8 hours. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I have that same thing with art.
Yeah.
Where I see a lot of artists that I follow, they'll post like a work in progress picture, just like a shitty little line drawing where it's not even finished. Whereas I was always in the mindset of I wanted to have like a fully finished piece, painted, beautiful picture.
Framed.
Yeah. Like so I don't have time for it. So I would never really post things, but I want to like get into the habit of just like, I'll just post wherever I'm at with something, or like just so I'm posting things and being relevant. Yeah.
Because with art and social media, people love to see the progression of progress, your like, they're like, they'll click on your shit again, like specifically because they're like, I wonder if he finished that drawing, and like just getting shit out there on everything you can. If you don't have a Twitter, fucking get a Twitter and just blast everything out so that people have shit to look at when they do.
I used to do that, and I think I'm gonna start doing it again. Connect my Twitter back to my Instagram, so when I post something, it'll just post on Twitter too. And just
real quick about that, Nick, I really hate how that works though, because when you post from Instagram and you link it to your Twitter, it's just literally
Instagram.
We're just so anti-Instagram.
What? So Instagram is doing that on purpose. You know, they don't want you to be able to just cross post. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
so
they
really
want you to be always on Instagram.
always on your phone, always on the app specifically for tracking reasons. They have crazy analytics they're getting from people clicking on those ads.
Yeah,
I click on like almost every one, not even like just mindlessly.
Right.
And Instagram only being available to upload or produce any content for on your mobile makes it such a headache for me because I've been trying to do less social media on my phone.
Right.
I deleted Twitter, deleted Facebook. And just doing all on PC, but you can't upload, you can't create content or post anything unless it's on the app.
Sure.
So real quick, I have two things to say because fucking love this conversation, y'all. Well, we're basically talking about like creating artistic lifestyle design type stuff, which is my favorite topics ever. Like that's actually where my passion's lying, and slowly realizing that creeping into my 30s. But two things, real quick with what Trey just said about Instagram, they actually just tighten the reins even more on their platform to the point where I'm gonna like share some things from my work, but like we're unable to access through our third party platforms, Sprinkler. We're unable to access Instagram now. This just came out Friday. Like we have to jump through some crazy ropes and become a business vendor in a different way. Like we have to pay. Like it's probably gonna amount to like companies that are trying to do social care or some customer service on Instagram, they're going to have to pay a big fee now to be a business vendor. Yeah. So Instagram is tightening the reins even more, which is probably coming off the heels of this Facebook situation where, because we all know Facebook owns Instagram. Yeah. It's probably coming off the heels where like Facebook's going to be tightening the reins too. And we're seeing that with their, we discussed this in the previous podcast, but they're tightening the reins, bottom line. Going back to what Trey and you guys just kind of went back and forth with on the perfection paralysis. Is that how you put it? Sure. I love that because it's so true. Just kind of like bringing it back to easy peasy. Last week, and we just had an awesome, we all three had a conversation before the podcast about this, but last week I was hating my voice, hating myself when I was editing the episode 75, now available on www.theezpz.com. It was just Nick and I duocast. Nick sounded amazing. Like he sounded really good, which is, I'm not going to like belittle you or anything, but like you have a lower decibel voice. So
always
it's like
been a problem,
yeah, it's always been a problem with the omnidirectional mic specifically. These new mics, I'm getting better at doing all this stuff now, so that it sounds better. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I sounded horrible, and I usually don't sound bad. I usually sound blown out because I'm louder than most people on the podcast. So like I have to turn mine down a little bit, but on this dial here, but I was like, what the heck? I don't even want to post this episode. I sound so crappy. But I was like thinking like, well, Nick is going to be disappointed for sure. I'm fucking disappointed at how horrible this sounds. And our 20 or whatever listeners, whoever listened to it, it fluctuates so much. Like we usually get 10, then we get like 50 on the next episode, then we get like close to 80. It just doesn't make sense. Ever since posting to Facebook though, we've been getting like close to 100, which is weird. It's like,
no, I mean, have you been promoting it with the paid ads or
$0 since 2015?
That's impressive because like you can like if you pay $5 on a YouTube video, you'll double or triple your shit, you know, easily. But
our YouTube's not seeing too much. But anyway, what I'm getting at is I didn't want to post this podcast, but
right.
Like, I have to. I have not missed a podcast, except for when we were in San Francisco, which is I was on vacation. I have not missed a podcast in season 2 of the Easy Peasy. Regardless of who I can get on the show and whatnot, I always get it booked to the point where I at least have Nick or at least have a couple people pulling Lydia in, pulling Madison, Clem, Alex.
Yeah, you got a good network.
Yeah, that's the thing though. So that perfection paralysis is so true. I mean, love that you said that because that's totally how, just like Nick said, that's how he feels too. So, wow, we went on a crazy tangent here with Fortnite. Any other thoughts here, Trey? I mean, with Fortnite, the skins situation, they're making $223 million in March alone. Don't you think a lot of that came from the Ninja Drake stream?
No, I think that this game would have been the juggernaut it is, but it's such a good thing that happened because it's just pulling all of these non-gamers. It's like normalizing nerd culture even more, which is great for me anyways, because I'm already an established nerd. So that means eventually I may reach status of king nerd. But I don't think Fortnite's going anywhere. I think that they've got great developers behind it. They have a lot of good heads that are, I mean, they created the Unreal Engine. They're fucking Unreal Tournament. They're fucking Epic is a fantastic company.
Epic has been one of my favorite developers for obvious reasons. They did Gears of War. Since Gears of War 1, like, I love Epic. I've always loved how they do shooters, third person. They are the kings of third person shooters.
Yeah, I think they're one of the best. I've never seen an online game updated so much that fucking they so obviously care about, with so many. Like, I don't know if you heard about like the dance competition thing they did where people were submitting dances to get put into the game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So basically they were submitting dances. There was a kid that was like 16 and he had like a sick, like it was just like random, I guess is what they called it. But he couldn't win the contest because he wasn't 18 years old. So basically some other guy won the contest. I don't even know what dance it was. But they ended up just putting his dance into the game, like, and it was called Orange Justice because it's like Orange Kid or something. I don't know what it was, but it's just cool that they're taking parts of their own culture and jamming it into the game, you know, and they're just like really good about creating a culture about a game that's essentially just shooting people in the head, you know. Like,
I feel like I could talk to you guys about gaming, obviously, for hours and hours. Like, I guess I need to bring it back to when I said I feel like I'm a casual gamer at this point, but I would say I'm king nerd level in the gaming industry. I listen to IGN podcasts every week. I watch Twitch more than I watch any other TV, anything.
It's surpassed CNN in concurrent users.
Good.
Like, I mean,
bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, what Ninja never has less than 100,000 people watching him at one time, and that's one person. Maybe 2-3 other people working on his team, you know?
Right.
And that's...
His wife is one of those 3.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, the overhead for that is so low. And, like, I think that we're just going to see, like, more and more companies like, oh, shit, they don't pay anything. Like, what's Ninja's Pon Pon dance cost them? $0 cash. 0 fucking dollars cash. And it's, like, such a staple. And it's, like, I don't know. It's crazy what they're doing with so little money.
The Twitch culture around Fortnite is vibrant. Everyone loves Fortnite, so much so that they're bringing in all of these other streamers that specialize in League of Legends. Specifically, some of these that I really love, Trick2G.
Yeah, the solo mid guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Team Solo Mid.
TSM, they already have a Fortnite team. They already have. But like they're bringing in other League of Legends pros from other teams, like because they want to play Fortnite so much more than they want to play League of Legends. League 5v5 feels ancient almost at this point, man.
Yeah,
45 minutes in a game? Who wants to spend 45 minutes and then only to lose because one of your 4 other teammates like screwed up one team fight? That's why I like Arena of Valor, because I'm playing the 3v3. These games are averaging 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I won a game last night in 4 minutes. Clem and I played one game when we came back after we went and got ice cream. We came back and we watched some football, baseball, basketball. We watched the Raptors and the Cavaliers, the game, I guess 3. We watched it, and we were playing Arena of Valor, and we won a game in like 9 minutes. And that was after pretty much losing. We were literally losing. They were at our base, I guess, and we ended up somehow won. Me, because I was MVP.
Well, I think that's why the match games are so much popular nowadays, is just because not everyone has like a huge amount of time to sit down and really get immersed in a story for 3 hours, you know?
Yep.
So it's like, oh, pop in Fortnite, RIP. Yeah, die 3 times and then we're good, you know? And you're back on track, you know? So...
Like, yeah, and that's short attention span side of the thing too. Like, not saying it's a bad thing, but it's awesome that you can just do a quick game in however long, you know?
In 1 hour, you can play, if you're really bad, you can play like 15.
Yeah, you can bust them out if you're dying in the first 10 seconds every time. You can play so many matches.
Yeah, dude. It won't
be fun.
I will say, I wish I could get back into playing Fortnite, but after watching Ninja for for those first few weeks.
You can learn from them. You don't be discouraged by any of that, because all of that shit translates to other games. So it's like, oh, I don't want to get into this game because it's not gonna matter. So then when the next game comes out, you're still gonna be shit at shooting. Like, it's people are so worried about losing time on video games, but it's like literally that's what it is like a black hole of time.
Yeah.
In the best possible way, but
yeah. Real wonderful discussion based off that Fortnite. We went gaming skins, but let's dive into our topic of the show. Well, what was may not be now, with that being a huge chunk. But West Des Moines thief being outed for like the 14th time. So this person, I mean, she had a huge write-up. Shout out to Lee Rude, who she does wonderful work. I mean, I read this entire article like 4 times now. And she's just a great journalist. She covered everything that has happened since 2012 with this person. So I guess giving some bullet points here, this woman named Priscilla Ann Hieronymus, that's her real name, Priscilla Ann Hieronymus. She's been accused of stealing from 5 businesses across the Des Moines metro area. She's 30 years old, and this is all since 2012. She's been doing this. So let's do some math here. She's 24 years old. She's forged documents. She's lied about a whole bunch of qualifications, of course, to get these jobs. So what she does, though, she essentially gets a job somewhere, has to do with books, has to do with accounting, has to do with some sort of management position within that area of these companies, most of them nonprofits, which is another psycho aspect.
Weird. Dark.
Gets a job in that department, rips off the company, fudges numbers, steals checks, does whatever she has to do to rip off the company, just a few $1,000s. But a few $1,000s to a nonprofit in Des Moines, Iowa could make or break you for that month.
I mean, did this lady not see the end of Catch Me If You Can? Like, for real. Like, you're gonna get caught. Dude. It's all written down. Right. It's not like it's like, it's so fucking obvious when shit hits the fan who the fuck did it. It's not like you're using an alias. So here's a weird question, though, on like the topic of her like lying on her resumes, like lying about her qualifications and stuff. Is that even illegal?
Well,
that's a good question. I really don't know.
I'm pretty sure you can lie on a resume and then that's like grounds for termination, but I don't think it's like actually.
If they actually do a background check or like research it or like try to call something.
Go ahead. Sorry, Nick.
Oh, you're good. I was just saying, if they like maybe try to like check on your references and try to call like the
you wouldn't get hired,
but I mean, I guess that's showing that a lot of companies aren't doing that.
Fair enough, true. I mean,
well, let me just go down the line of events that's happened, then we can get into that question, Trey, because there's a great example of something she did to lie about qualification that is illegal. So she's a 30-year-old woman. A blonde chick here in Des Moines, Iowa. It hits close to home, and I'll get into why it hits close to home for me. But her last name is Hieronymus. That's her maiden name. She got married late last year, so somebody is loving on this thief. I don't get it. There's no way he doesn't know. I mean,
scumbags like scumbags,
right? That's why I said when
he's getting a kickback on it. He probably doesn't have to have a job or some shit. Like.
Her last name after getting married is Whaling, Walling. She utilized this last name to get into other companies, work at other companies because they couldn't do background checks on somebody that had a different last name. Like having another extra access to another name whenever she wants.
Slick.
Oh yeah, she's really slick.
Little snake.
So she always focused on these nonprofits. Like I said, she's a predator for these nonprofits. I mean, I worked at the Des Moines Social Club, which is, we'll get into that later, but I worked there and you could really do some damage because they don't have all the help. I mean, nonprofits, they need more help than they even have, right? Always. Like that's why they rely on volunteers. That's why they rely on surrounding businesses to support them. So yeah, of course she's going to focus on them. I mean, it's like a lamb out in the middle of a field. There's like a bunch of wolves. I mean, so she pleads guilty in 2012 after ripping off 2 employers between 2012 and 2014. She pleads guilty in 2014. March 2015, she's sentenced to 5 years suspended sentence and probation. One of those companies being the Resource Services in northern Des Moines, which is a heating and cooling company. They state, and they told the Des Moines Register that she stole $2,379. She's a wife, but not only that, guys, she's also a mom. So,
Nice.
But keeping that in mind, she used being a mom to her advantage, like she does everything, this woman here. So in April 2018, just last month, she rips off another employer, a sixth one at this point in time. And to get out of this situation, she said that her daughter needed to stay with her because she was about to undergo multiple heart surgeries, apparently.
Dang.
All fake. And to kind of prove that she had this daughter that needed to go through all these open heart surgeries, she ended up forging University of Iowa Hospital's document from a nurse that she had somehow known the name of, Megan Dolan, apparently. So she forged that document saying,
The balls on this lady,
Yeah.
bro.
He goes hard.
Oh, she's like a career criminal and loving it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, man.
Her luck has run out, indeed, at this point in time, though, because she's ripped off. She's used fake security numbers, fake birthdays on all these job applications. That is what I'm talking about. Using fake social security numbers and birthdays, that's illegal on a job app, right?
Sure.
So she's doing that kind of stuff. And just going back to what your question was, Trey, that is the illegal aspect of lying on a resume.
Yeah, definitely. The birthday can't be illegal because like you don't have to put a birth date on an application because that'd be like ageist, right?
Okay.
Or ageism, but
I think you're right. When I reviewed applications at previous jobs and even at Wells Fargo, when you see like a resume and whatnot, you don't have to put your birthday or anything on there, right?
yeah,
So,
like I mean, all we have on our applications is like, are you under 18? If so, when's your birthday? So I think that's the only time you have to provide it is if you're underage.
because if you're under 18 in Des Moines, you have special qualifications, right? You can't work a certain amount or what?
Yeah, I'm not 100% honestly.
Well, I
which
guess
is funny
actually,
'cause I'm
I just
hiring-
answered my own question. No, that's not right because I was 17 working 40 hours a week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think 16 is where the draw off is, and then 14 you do have like a bunch of stipulations, like you can't work after like 8 or something like that. But
Right.
I'm not exactly sure on the specifics
Yeah,
of
like
it.
a work permit and shit.
Yeah.
So she had that in 2013, or 15, excuse me, March 2015. She got that 5-year suspended sentence plus probation. She's broken her probation multiple times, obviously. So on April 12th, she had a violation reported by her probation officer, Mr. Clark here, and he set the bond of $49,000 cash. Her defense attorney was able to negotiate that release, and then she ends up going to work at a business out here in Clive called the Woodsmith Store, I guess. And she told her probation officer she had nothing to do with the books. She was just a cashier. So I guess, that's like entry level on the books, essentially. But she ended up being the office manager. So she rips him off for $3,000, taking a $3,000 check. Somehow, how are you able to do checks these days? Like rip people off with checks? I didn't even realize that.
Write it to yourself. If you're the guy writing checks, I mean, how hard would it be to be like, oh, I'm writing myself a $3,000 business check?
For some reason, when I was
payroll
reading,
or something.
Yeah, for some reason when I was reading this, I was taking it as somebody wrote the business $3,000. She deposited that in her own account.
This is so funny because like the amount she's stealing is not worth a lifetime of like jail and a lifetime of like just being a shithead. It's like, get a fucking 40-hour-a-week job and you'll make $1,000 like every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly what I was thinking too.
and you don't even have to spend 5 years in jail. Like you don't even have to like worry about probation. It's crazy.
You have
shit.
a kid.
I mean, to me, if you're like, okay, I'm taking 10 grand, like that to me is kind of like amount of money that would be worth risking almost, but like still not like $2,000 fucking dollars, dude, after you're already on probation. And what a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Clearly she has issues and has more than just like, she's more than just a thief. She's got mental issues.
So yeah, what's like the term for like just being like
Klepto?
like kind of like a chronological liar or something.
Oh,
Like,
Are you talking
just,
about like a
have that-
sociopath?
Kind of, yeah.
I believe it's called a
like,
Donald
she's just-
Trump.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, she just like is addicted to like doing bad shit. I don't know, bad shit.
She thinks she's a Bonnie. She thinks she's a Bonnie.
I think I know the word. Bad person.
Exactly. Yeah. It was right on the tip of my tongue, right?
All right, guys. So she is breaking those probations, and she was actually just found on the street outside of the courthouse, trying to find outside the courthouse. Friday, she was seen on the sidewalk trying to call someone before being sent back to jail. Whether anyone has gotten a hold of her remains to be seen. So, like, it's kind of like a funny way to sign off here on this article. But something that hits close to home is that she actually was employed by the Des Moines Social Club last year, and I specifically remember shaking her hand. Specifically remember meeting her and shaking her hand. Like, I just can't believe this. Like,
that's crazy.
I interned there. I worked there. They gave me a job when I was in the middle of finding a actual job to utilize my degree in some sort of fashion. And obviously, I loved working with that whole bunch of people there. It's just such a great artistic hub to be a part of in some small way. So I'm volunteering as much as I can there. I'm going to be helping out with 8035 stuff and the food truck throwdown next week, which we'll get into. But so for her to freaking steal from the heart of Des Moines, the artistic heart, the artistic hub of Des Moines, she can straight fuck off. And I hope she gets sent to jail and gets these felonies actually put on her, and like more than just like probation. So that's the thing. And there's statistics. The FBI released a bunch of statistics in the last year that show specifically white collar crimes like this done by white people. They are getting let off more and more and more, which makes no sense. Like, we're attacking people for the dumbest thing ever, like a non-violent drug charge, and sending them to prison. But for somebody to ruins lives, affects hundreds, if not thousands, with affecting these nonprofits. I mean, I guess I should state real quick, the Des Moines Social Club has not commented. They've refused to comment on this. They have their own internal investigation going on. And I personally, even if I knew something, I wouldn't say that on the EZPZ podcast. I don't know anything about anything that's going on, even though I know people that work there. They're like family to me. For her to attack these nonprofits, though,
yeah,
man, she's affecting, like, there's kids at this. So I'm just going to bring it back to an example I know. Like I said, I don't know what she stole, what she got away with when she worked at Des Moines Social Club last year as the account manager, doing the books for the Des Moines Social Club. I mean, we see a trend here. I'm just assuming she stole. I'm assuming she got away with something. But anyway, she's affecting after school programs for kids. She's affecting art classes for kids. Anything for kids. Kids. Like, the social club specializes in all these Des Moines public school after class things, even like up to teenage adults, where we all know teenagers are the ones getting into the most trouble, obviously, not some 3rd, 4th, 5th grader. Those kids just need more supervision because they don't have the parents at home. But these other kids, the teenagers, they need that slam poetry. They need that
slam poetry.
Well, yeah, dude. Slam poetry is so important to teenagers because they are able to express themselves to their peer group about something that may not be easy to talk about. It's therapeutic. So totally. Slam poetry classes.
I just thought that was a weird example.
Yeah. Well, because I got to see it every day after school.
Okay, I did not know it was a thing anymore. I thought that was a late 90s kind of thing.
Yeah, dude, I'm a huge proponent of
with
the slam poetry classes at the social club, because I got to see firsthand kids talking about something that happened to them that really was messing with their psyche, and they got to express it to their entire class. Like, it was awesome. But anyway, she's affecting those things. She can fuck off. She's hitting my artistic hub.
Yeah, she proved she didn't care about kids when she was lying about her own daughter's health. Like, what a fucking low blow.
What a piece of work.
Like, her kid is gonna find, like, super Google her mom in the future and see this, like, list of shit that she has done, and, like, I just wonder what the reaction will be. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Too bad for that kid, man.
How do you steal? Like you were saying, Trey, I'm just dumbfounded. Like, not only was it like one time, 2, 3, 4 time thing. No, it was over 5, 6, 7 years, multiple companies. We're talking like up to 10 companies non-profits were in there, like $3,000 at a time. What is wrong with you?
Well, I mean, like in the number, like the amount she stole is probably still under like 20 grand, which is like half a year of work, you know, like holy crap. Like what the fuck is wrong with the brains of some people, man?
All right. Well, let's close out the podcast with our favorite stuff that we're, or I guess what we're about to do this next coming week. What we got planned? What do you got going on for projects? Your live streams, your art? What are you making? You got commissions? Nick, I'll toss it to you. You got anything going on this week?
I don't know. Nothing too big. Just trying to pump out more art is all, really.
Sticking to the diet?
Are you painting or are you still...
Yeah, mostly just illustration stuff right now, but I've been watercoloring all my stuff lately.
Ooh, watercolor's sick.
Yeah, I might try to go into a new medium at some point. I've heard of this paint called gouache. Gouache? Super weird. I listened to this podcast I was telling you about, the Lifeform podcast, where they just interview a bunch of like Instagram artists, and it's really cool. But a bunch of them are talking about this paint that's like similar to watercolor, so I might give that a shot.
Okay.
Try a new medium.
Yeah, cool. Sick.
How's your diet going?
Diet's going fantastic. I've been going super hard for a few weeks now. Not going to drink or anything until Cosmic Kingdom, just kind of...
June 1st to in June 2nd at Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
Lydia's birthday weekend celebration. So not drinking. What else, what are you doing for the diet though? You doing keto?
Keeping it super clean, not cheating. I just really been counting calories mainly.
Counting calories. So what's your daily?
That's always what does it for me. But I start high, and then when I stop seeing results, I cut 100 calories a day. And that's kind of how I like always go, and I just like keep going.
Monday, you start at like 2,000?
No. So I'll do it like per week. So I started at like 1,800 calories. And then when I stop losing weight, I'll bump it down to 1,700 calories for the week. When I stop
for the day?
Yeah, for
the week.
For a week or whatever, you know.
Because I weigh myself. Do you add your
I weigh myself every week. Yeah. So I weigh myself every week to like get like my base number or whatever, you know. And then like, so I just did 1,700 this week. So next week I'm probably going to do 1,600 for the week and see how that goes. And I just keep going.
But you still add, like if you do a half hour on the treadmill, you add that 300 calories to your daily.
No.
So you're straight 1,600.
Yeah.
Man.
No, because you shouldn't do that, you know, because then you're kind of like.
Shortening your body.
Yeah. So like if you burn 300 calories and then you just eat it back, you kind of don't really get the results.
No, I know. But 1,600 for, I guess when I was counting calories a couple years ago, I was doing like 1,500 to 1,800.
Yeah. Yep. And 16 or like 15 is maybe about the lowest I'll ever go because I usually hit my goal by then because I usually don't have like that much I need to lose anyway.
Yeah.
And then once I get my goal, I can just move back up to like a maintenance calories where I'll go a little bit higher to like just maintain.
You've been lifting or anything in the gym?
Yeah. Cardio and lifting. Cool. 5 days a week.
Nice. Good to hear it. I'm glad that you're sticking strong. Trey, what do you got?
Right now playing some Fortnite and WoW Classic on
WoW Classic.
Yeah, so it's like a private server that's like an unpatched version of WoW. And basically, so the server launched like a month ago, and it's basically as if the game came out that day, minus all the bugs and like shittiness of it, but like it's a pure version of the game before they started adding so much shit that it kind of like diluted and like ruined the game or whatever. But playing those two, and then coming up, I'm finishing up Far Cry 5 because I only beat like 30% of that game before I kind of got distracted. And then kind of looking forward to God of War also when kind of falls down in the Twitch directories or whatever. Find a better time to hit that game.
You'll play it on PS4 then, huh?
Yeah, I got a PS4. I got like a capture card. I played several games on that. I played Monster Hunter on there, and Crash was on that. And I'm trying to think what else I played on there. A couple other things, you know, but
you don't prefer that over your PC, right? No. Is it hard to like interact with the stream and stuff
with the controller?
Well, you don't have like or do you have it downstairs?
Yeah, I've got my PS4 downstairs right now, but I've got like the two monitors and shit, and the capture card goes through my PC and stuff like that. And even when I had my PlayStation upstairs and I was streaming downstairs, like PlayStation has some like cool shit where you can like remote access your PlayStation from a PC. So I was just straight streaming it like it was on upstairs and I was playing it downstairs.
Wow,
So
that's legit.
yeah, no lag or anything. It was pretty cool, honestly.
Wow.
But other than that, just getting this volleyball shit going.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got like another project that I'm totally blanking right now. Whatever. Just got Best of Totally Trey 2 up on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's in really low quality. I just troubleshooted everything and now I know how to like upload in higher quality, but I figure it's already up there and getting the views. So I'm just like, I'll just do it on the next one and leave this one in like, it has to be like under it is under 720. It's got to be like 460 or some shit resolution.
480.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? When I saw
great.
it the first time, I'm like, whatever. It's on
That'll
the
make
internet.
Fremont that much better.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
True.
Post about it. Post it still. Don't be afraid. Don't get that paralysis.
Yeah, it's up there, but yeah, exactly. I'm not worried about perfection. I'm just like, as long as people are looking at it, fuck it.
Yeah, that's good.
But
What about Sean?
I've got Easy Peasy, of course. Got this episode to edit and all that. But next week, after volleyball, so Trey and I are going to be playing that on Thursday. If you want to come cheer us on, bring your pom-poms at the Sands here in Des Moines.
bring the air horns.
Distract the other team every time they serve.
So apparently at the Sands when you play volleyball, it's a big drinking thing, but I'm going to try not to drink. But anyway, next Saturday, May 12th, we got 4th annual food truck throwdown. Myself and Alex Bush are going to be out there volunteering from 10 to 2. Catch me cleaning up the place of all y'all's trash and emptying. I'm going to be on pretty much the green team mega star like I was last year. I was just running around emptying trash bins, doing my best to keep the trash situation all clear, because at this food truck throwdown, they've got about a dozen, if not more, food trucks parked on Cherry Street, Des Moines Social Club, downtown Des Moines. And yeah, I mean, it's just everyone getting together, eating a bunch of awesome food. Stars of the heavy hitters for the food trucks are the Banh Mi,
I'm gonna get one of those.
Curbing Cuisine. What else we got here? Roadside Tacos. They were the 2017 champions. I don't know if I voted for them, but I voted for Molly's. But that food truck is no more, so that's kind of sad. Street East Des Moines and Wings on Wheels. There's a bunch more, of course.
I like the Top Gun reference, Top Bun.
Top Fun.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Do they serve a goose burger? Oh my god! I gotta go talk to them if they don't have a goose burger, because there's a guy named Goose.
Yeah.
In Top Gun.
They probably do.
They better, dude.
Even if it's not goose, you would still be happy. right?
Yeah, I know. If it's named the Goose Burger, that's good enough for me.
So catch me out there, guys. It's $5. It goes from 11 to 8 p.m. on May 12th at Des Moines Social Club, Cherry Street, Mulberry, downtown Des Moines. It's huge. Not only do they have the food, though, they have entertainment. So we've got Erin and Enderlin. She's opening up the day at noon. So on the courtyard stage, I'm sure that's where the music's going to be happening. They've also got Stutterin' Jimmy and the Goosebumps, the only name on here I straight away recognize. But if you don't know about Stutterin' Jimmy, he's really cool. And the Goosebumps, a really cool artist, really cool band here in Des Moines, where he's had a really great coverage for Des Moines publications like Des Moines Register. They've interviewed him and stuff. But basically his story is this. He stutters. His name's Jimmy and he stutters. But when he sings, he doesn't stutter. It's kind of cool. Neat situation for the guy where he finally found something where he's been battling the stuttering his whole life. But when he sings, when he's expressing himself musically, he's not stuttering. He's able to hit all the notes, everything.
You just should sing his sentences then.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to this guy too. I've got a lot of people to talk to this week. I've fingers in a lot of cookie jars.
All right, guys, $5 though to get in. Kids get in if you're 10 and under. So yeah, check me out there. I'll be volunteering. That's my projects this week: volleyball, that, and Easy Peasy. So thank you so much for joining us on the Easy Peasy Podcast, episode 76. You can find Easy Peasy at TheEZPZ on everything. Been doing a lot of Instagram stuff, getting away, doing as much Instagram story stuff as I can. Kind of doing it personalize more so like my stuff, not just about the easy peasy. So yesterday I did all my cheat day stuff. Didn't get my main meal on there for the Instagram story, but still showed y'all I don't fuck around on cheat days. I do not.
Dude, I've seen it live. It's a kind of a horrifying sight to behold, honestly.
It was really gross this morning. My stomach was turning from eating all that garbage.
My favorite Sean eating moment was when we were camping and you had the fucking hot dog and there was like mayonnaise, ketchup, relish, mustard, ranch. Oh, yeah. I got you a little ranch cup for our new ranch at Jimmy John's on there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good shit. It'll be good shit.
I gotta try it.
It's a kickin' ranch, baby.
Is it?
Ranch?
Is it good? Do you like it?
Yeah, no, I hate ranch. And then, so I just dip this shit in chips in the shit. And it's like, just like a spicy, it doesn't even really taste like ranch. It tastes
almost like a Chipotle maybe. Almost.
Yeah, like spicy, like party dip almost.
That's
like
awesome.
I love it, dude.
Sounds
I
amazing.
can't wait to try it. Cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, thank you for joining us for Easy Peasy episode 76, and we out.
Peace.
Yo.
Okay. That was a good one.